Because this is a mistake. Why do you do this? Right? Why are
Guess
we
I
going
didn't
here?
have I guess I didn't have much confidence in actually doing something.
But then why did we lock in Kalista Camille? Right? Like every champion in the game has purpose, right? If I lock in
Yep.
Jinx, I hope I will like carry the game when I'm like free items, right? If the
Hmm.
champion can't do that, why would I play Jinx, right? But yeah, I mean, one thing I would point out, because I looked at her RPG a little bit, is like, you pick Kalista, but then you never play Kalista. And, like, there's some champs in the game, right? So for your role, it's like, let's say I don't play a lot of Ashe and Jhin. I can still pick them up relatively easily, right? These champions are not very difficult. But Kalista is, like, the hardest AD carry, you know? Like, if I think of, like, hard to play ADCs, I think of Kalista, Aphelios, Draven, Ezreal, Vayne, you know what I mean? Samira. So, it's a bit weird
Okay.
you play one game of Kalista and then never again, no? Isn't Kalista a champion you should be playing a lot if you want to pick her?
I guess so, but I just thought that Kalista with Kami is gonna be very effective into a Jinx melee lane.
Well, it is. But your Kalista might not be good, right? So you should practice it more. Because, like, what you just said there, right? I can say for so many of your games, Kalista will be good in a lot of games. Kalista with Nautilus here is going to be good as well. Kalista with Fresh is pretty good as well. Of course, not good versus Poppy. I don't know if you saw the Poppy like before you picked or whatever. With Pantheon here, Kalista will be good as well. Kalista is a champion that you can play with anything. Because, like, Kalista always has purpose. Kalista works great with melee, like, engage supports, right? Pike, Nautilus, whatever. But she also works really well with, like, lane bully range supports. Ashe, Renata, for example. But she also works really great with, like, mage supports. Like, stuff like Vel'Koz or fucking Swain or whatever. Because she always has purpose. Kalista ulti is really strong. Kalista lane is like almost uncontestable. There's like no champions that can beat Kalista in lane, and the support matchup is like very favored for enemy, right? So like
Hmm.
you can play Kalista with anything. So it's weird that you say, "Oh, I picked Kalista because I have Camille," but then you didn't pick Kalista in the past 100 games that you played, even though she's probably good in 50% at least of these games, right?
I
You know what I
just
mean?
think that yeah, I just think that Kalista with Camille is especially effective. That's why.
Yeah, but again, this is not a champion that you're going to be good at if you play it once every 100 games. So I don't think it's a problem you're playing Kalista. I just think you should play her more frequently because it's a very, very, very hard champion. It is a little bit easier to play when you're playing it lethality because it's not as like APM heavy as playing on hit Kalista. Because the hard part about Kalista is mainly her jump mechanic, you know, and how you use your E. Which obviously becomes easier to play when you're doing it less because you're playing lethality. But a lot of these games that you're picking Lucian in, you could pick Kalista for the same reason, right? Obviously, this is quick play, right? But
Yep.
anyways, in these type of draft situations, Kalista works for the same reason, except for the game where they have Poppy. Um, and I think that you're tunneling on Kalista plus Camille way too much because again, Kalista works with everything. Because like Kalista is a champion that because she's so strong in lane, often she can 1v2 a lot of matchups. So she can bridge her supports as well. That's why it's something that's like a little bit weaker. So like stuff like maybe like Kalista Taric can still work because the Kalista can help guide the Taric to where he wants to be. You know, like Kalista can get the guy through early game because of her strength. You know,
Hmm.
so like I think if you want to become good at Kalista and actually pick her, you should just play the champion more because again, like Kalista, Draven, Aphelios, Ezreal, Vayne, these type of ADCs, they are not easy to play compared to the likes of like Ashe, Misfortune, Jhin. You know. and that's all.
Mm.
But yeah. I mean, you chose to go lethality this game. Obviously, it's good with Camille. It's good versus all of their champs. You're not going to have the dilemma of being outscaled. Like, some games, you're going to have situations where, okay, I really want to play lethality Kalista for my lane, but it feels really bad for the game. So, like, let's say this lane, playing lethality Kalista will be really nice, because we want to all in, we want to one-shot them, right? But then, let's say they're playing something like Ornn here.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, I'm not talking. I'm just filling in. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
in like this game, you're not gonna have as easy of a choice because like in this one they're all squishy and your game is good for your lane to go lethality. So you're gonna scale good this game too going lethality. But in games like this, you're gonna have the problem that lethality is best for your lane, but the game is like almost unwinnable, especially in solo queue. It's like almost unwinnable going lethality like inside of mid game late game. Because you're playing solo queue in Diamond, the game is not just gonna end, right? Like the elo you're playing at right now, the game is not just gonna end from lane. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So in this type of games, I think you should just ask yourself like how hard will my lane be if I go on hit? Because in this case, you're going to win lane even though you go on hit. You're just gonna win it slightly bit less, but your game overall is gonna be quite a lot better. You know?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Whereas, let's say they have a bit more powerful of a lane. Now you can make the argument that if I go on hit, I'm sacrificing my lane too much to the point we can't even get to late game. So then you just go lethality and you hope that your team can be useful in like late game versus the Ornn and Sejuani. So yeah, always think about this when you choose between on hit and lethality. But yeah, for your setup itself, it's fine. You can go Taste of Blood, you can go Sudden Impact. Obviously, it is like a bit worse because of the changes, but it's still not like bad for Kalista. It's still really, really good. And in this type of lane, you do not need Taste of Blood. You know, like if you read the rune, it works so well for Kalista, right?
Yep.
And it fits what you want to do. And this rune, let's say you're playing someone like Caitlyn, you have really long range, right? You can frequently proc this. Kalista, you're realistically in this lane only proccing it with your Q. Which of course, it has a 20-second cooldown and your Q has less than that. So, of course, makes sense, but do you really need a sustain here? Right? If you look at this matchup, are they really poking you?
No, they're standing 10 miles behind that wave.
Exactly. So, while they're standing 10 miles behind our wave, wouldn't it be nice to have more damage for when we're all inning?
So that's where sudden impact comes in.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you're playing, let's say, a matchup that you think you cannot just all in all the time and just kill them, and you might need more sustain, so again, versus more poke, then Taste of Blood becomes better. But here, you should just want to get the most out of laning phase, so, you know, Sudden Impact makes sense over Taste of Blood. Everything else is fine, but I would never go scaling health as an ADC, because the problem is you're just sharing XP. Like, when you're level 6, this has like the same amount of health, you know, as the other one. But getting to level 6...
The other one, the left one?
Yeah, like this one.
Oh, okay.
But getting level 6 takes quite a while in bot lane. And you need level 7 and more to start getting more health from this than this one. And again, how do I want to play this game? You're playing Kalista. You're even going to all in them level 1, right? So 50 HP difference level 1. That's a lot, you know, for level 1 all in. So it's just a bit weird, your mindset, because you shouldn't even like think about, oh, I want to be level 13 and be tanky. No, you don't want this game to like go to level 13, right? You want to fight them. So I would just go flat health. Everything else is fine. Presence of mind is fine. Alacrity, obviously, very, very, very good on Kalista. So all of this is fine. Your build is good as well. Opportunity is very good. I don't think you should tunnel too much on this, especially not in this game. Again, like I said, you scale pretty good this game, even though you're lethality, because you can always one-shot them. But you don't want to just rush into this most of the time, you don't even want to get tier 2 boots, and especially not Berserker Greaves. It's just, if you think about the gold that you spent doing this, right? Why not buy something else? For example, if you look at your build, this gives you movement speed. What does this give you? Also movement speed, right? So why do you even
Yeah, but
need this?
without Greaves, I feel like I'm perma Nessus with it.
You perma what?
Nessus with it, like
What do you
perma
mean?
Nessus W. Like the attack speed. The
Uh-huh.
attack speed is like so low.
Yes.
Can't really do anything.
Look your build. Your attack speed is still low. Right? Like, swiftness boots is great on this playstyle. You're not playing this playstyle to go and hit people. You're playing this because one guy jumps on you, let's say Kha'Zix. You hit him 3 times quickly, and you Q him, and he just dies. Right? So when you're committing all this extra gold into this, then you're just losing longswords, right? You're losing movement speed. You're losing other things that's more important on this build. There's gonna be games where you don't need swiftness boots, or you don't need tabis or something like this. And it's fine to buy this. And obviously Kalista's passive with boots is great, but you really do not need the attack speed, and I'm sure we're gonna see it in the VOD, how fake it will be. It's more of a feeling thing, but even when you're hitting like minions, right? You're just gonna Q the wave with this build. You're so high AD, you just Q and the wave is gone. Because this is a mistake. Why do you do this? Right? Why are we going here?
I guess I didn't have much confidence in actually doing something.
But then why did we lock in Kalista Camille? Right? Like every champion in the game has purpose, right? If I lock in Jinx,
Yep.
I hope I will like carry the game when I'm like 3 items, right? If the champion can't do that, why would I play Jinx, right? If I'm locking in Kalista Camille, if we can't win an all-in, why are we even playing our champions? Right?
Yep.
So like, you don't have confidence, okay, but then why is the champ locked in? Because here, this was such a good plan, but if you think about it, why are you here? You're here because you think they could face check you, right? And then you kill them.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you just meet them here, isn't it like the same thing minus 1 auto attack? Like they'll get to auto you 1 auto attack earlier, right? Because they see you, compared to running into the bush, yes?
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna win or lose the 2v2 between 1 auto attack?
We'll take 1 or 2 more hits, but overall we'll be slightly ahead in the trade level 1, and then we can possibly zone them from the bottom bush.
Yeah, they can't do anything here. If you just like, when they show here, you just keep standing here, you wait for Jinx to go here, then you guys just go here. What can they do? They turn to fight you, they just die. Jinx will be 1v2, Melio can't do anything. You know? You're also pushing like way too fast, because half of these creeps that you're hitting, they're not even gonna die. Like, you were talking about how they're gonna stand like miles behind their wave, right?
Yep.
If you slow push as hard as you can, then they can't just do that. So here you auto to probably get in range, right? So this auto makes sense. But now, why do you keep autoing? You see this?
If like the Jinx missteps and then I can position my auto and move towards her, I can get Hail Blades off. But that's only if, right?
Well, look at this freeze frame. She has to be extremely bad, right? To do that?
Yep.
So shouldn't you just like keep standing here? And then if she clicks forward, then you do it. Right? Like,
Yeah, that makes more sense.
You don't need to hit and then see her click into you to then jump. You can just stand here. And if you see her click into you, then you fucking hit it and jump forward. But like here, you're just assuming he'll make a mistake, and then you end up hard pushing. You know? Because you're just killing that caster. And even if you wanted to do what you were saying, right? It still doesn't make sense that you just go and kill the caster. Right? In this case, you're probably Eing because you wanted to secure this, right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I would assume. But now you
Yeah,
just
correct.
insta-killed both. And now, before she's even killed a single melee, the whole wave is dead. Makes it a lot easier for them to breathe and play, right? Like, you want the creeps to die as slow as possible, so that they hit for as long as possible on your wave, so you have an easier time to deny her CS. And the wave crashes as slow as possible. So Camille has E back up now. So now they're going to lose his caster. You should try and deny XP. Here they deny themselves XP by themselves, right? But it wasn't up to you. Look here. Do you have any reason to stand here and click here compared to being here? Can still kill this standing here, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you are Jinx in this situation, right? You're never gonna farm this. But if you were to stand here, you're getting XP, yes?
Yep.
So the only reason why she wouldn't stand here is if she's scared of Camille being here. But if you're standing here and Camille casts E, it is not that bad for Jinx to go here and get 1v2'd by Camille, right? She could take a way worse trade than that. And so you need to just stand in front of the wave together with Camille. It doesn't make sense that you invite them back into XP range, no? Because you can just farm this standing here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought by like doing that, I could lull them into a false sense of security so that
Yeah,
they
but
think
this is
I'm
just
bad
such
and
a,
then they
like,
walk up for him.
I know what you're thinking, right? But this is such a bronze way to play the game. Because, like, you're just hoping that they're just next level bad, right? Like, they see two Halo Plays champs on their screen. They see Kalista, they see Camille. Naturally, they should know that they are weaker, right? And the wave is pushing into them. So you clicking here, all it does is that it allows him to stand here without getting fucked. If you stood here and he's standing here, then you can do the jump into him and Camille ease, right?
Hmm.
But by doing this, you're just hoping that he clicks to here. Does that make sense? Like, look where he's standing now. He's showing you he's respecting, yes?
Yep.
So even if he was to start stepping up now, he's never gonna stand here. Right? People walk up for reasons. They walk up to last hit or they walk up for XP. He's not gonna walk up to farm this, because he's already gonna die before he can get from here to the position he needs to stand to farm it, yes? So even if what you were trying to do is true, that you're trying to, like, bait him in, it wouldn't even be, like, possible for him to even get in the range that you're trying to bait him in. And you can just stand here and he can't even get XP. You know? Melio here, for example. Isn't Melio hard trolling right now? If you were to stand here.
Yeah. She'll just get hook shot.
Yeah. But look from Camille's perspective. It's not very satisfying for Camille to go in here when you're standing here. Yes?
Yep.
So you need to learn to stand in front of the wave. Just slow push and stand in front of the wave. Stop killing casters like this, right? Stop killing that one. Stop killing this one. Why do you do this? You've already achieved push. The moment this happens, you already have push. So the only creeps you're killing is, like, to just get last hits. But you keep, like, hitting minions for fun, right? Here your last hits, makes sense. This is troll, right? And then here you will keep autoing again after this. And you should have just kept slow pushing from this moment, right? Here, last hit, good. Don't hit this, right? Try to avoid taking minion aggro, right? You see this creep aggro you take here? This? That's bad because you want these melees to run on this. Make sense?
Yep.
So if you're standing here taking creep aggro because you're fighting them, that's fine. That's okay. That's not bad. That's good. But just taking creep aggro here because you're standing here when these guys are in Africa, that's just bad. You're just, again, making your minions not take damage. You want these to run straight line, lock themselves on the wave. When the creeps lock themselves on the wave, you walk past the wave, and then they're fucked. Because, yeah, unless you do, like, a really heavy trade, level 1, you should always be able to do a third wave crash. But now the third wave is going to be, like, in between the tower and here. And it's, like, so much easier for them to, like, farm and trim the wave. And if you and Camille are, like, really fucking good at the game, then you can, in these type of matchups, you can build 3 waves And these guys are level 1 when you're crashing those free waves. And then you can just fucking dive level 2 to level 1 with free waves. You know? Like you get 2v2
It's
dive them
okay
or
if
dive with
we
Poppy.
it's okay if we dive, but we trade 1 kill,
Yeah, of
right?
course. If it's 1-for-1, it's
Okay.
completely worth it. They will lose so much fucking minions. And they
Okay.
probably
Okay.
blow their sums, and then on the bounce they don't have sums, right? So then they just die. And also your Poppy's puffing down. Because like here, right? You see how you're jumping to the side? I would jump forward here always. Even though I don't see Kha'Zix. Like here, it just doesn't matter because now you're in the turret. But like here, for example, right? If you see Kha'Zix somewhere, you should just start fighting them here. Like here after this W, right? Like now, after this, you should just click forward. You should want them to be interested in you. It's very easy for them to think about danger when you're standing here not giving them the option to fight you, right? But if you're clicking forward and like hitting this and jumping onto Melio, for example, Jinx has to think about Vex coming and leave, but then he's killing Melio, right? Now you're making it like a lot harder for Vex's gank to work because she has to snipe with R. Whereas like if you're trading, you can slow with E, for example. You're going to make Jinx like animation locked, auto attacking you and stuff like this. You have plenty of health here. You're not gonna get one-shotted if you trade a little bit. Yes?
Yeah.
But you're playing it like so scared that even if Vex like land ult, you're like so far. And like I said, Kha'Zix is the only thing I would be scared of here. But he could only kill you from here. That doesn't make trading here scary. Because I think this play could have worked if we fight him here and you're like hitting Melio right now and fighting them. And
Like wait, you mean like you mean like I walk forward here
like here
and
he does
I
this, right?
fight Jinx auto for auto.
Yeah, like here you jump to the side, right? You jump to here. If Jinx clicks forward, you fight the Jinx. If Jinx is going here or whatever, surrendering Melio, you fight the Melio. You know?
Okay, yeah.
And then if they fight you, fucking Vex should come and do something. But you're like completely AFK. Yeah, only problem with like committing this hard is you lose mid turret. Like I'm not that big of a fan of like queuing, like walking here and queuing a call in the head. Because like the thing is, your Camille and Poppy should be able to kill it, right? So like, if you're here at this point, the fight is already over. So you kinda just want to go back to mid. Because she should just die. Like if you look at her freeze frame, she should just die. Like sure you might
If
think,
she
oh,
doesn't die, it's fine, right?
I mean, if she doesn't,
Like
then she just doesn't die and we still get his turret and we save mid turret. But the moment when you do this, then Garen has to go mid now, right? Which is fine, but if he goes mid, then you're gonna lose bot turret. That's the thing, your job this game, right, was to wave clear mid here. Just like how your job earlier was to wave clear bot lane, right?
Yeah.
So if Jinx is a good player, he just runs up on mid now and he can look to take your tower. So I don't know what HP your tower was on mid, but keeping your mid turret alive is like the most important turret. It's really hard for enemy team to ever get like control of anything in a game if you guys have mid turret up. So if your mid turret is like healthy, then it especially doesn't matter. So if you look at this, right? If you look at this, it's 4 plates. So makes sense that you commit all the way to top lane. But it's just something to think about because you're kind of playing tower defense. And again, Jinx is like, you're thinking she's going to outscale you. So if she gets mid turret, right, that's going to help her scale. Yes? It's more important for them to get mid turret and get gold on Jinx than for you to get 300 gold on Akali. Because Akali is already useless here. So just understand that when you make this choice. But yeah, in this case, your mid turret is so healthy anyways, it doesn't matter. And like
But
I said,
either way, I should still be going mid, even if she couldn't take the turret, because I could try and deny her off the wave or something.
I mean, she's gonna get
Something
the wave.
like that.
Like, your team is top, so she will get the wave. Like, your Camille is top, right? So you're not gonna stop her from farming, want me to? She'll always farm.
But the idea is that she doesn't take the turret, right? Or anything else at mid.
Yes.
Okay.
But in this case, she can't get the turret, because Garen has push and can come, and also the turret is so healthy. But I don't know if you're thinking about that. And like, this is really bad. Because again, when you go here, mid wave is gone, so you need to base after this. Like, why do you go back to mid? The mid wave is gone. You need to realize that the moment that you go here and you commit, when you commit to top lane, whatever you wanted mid is gone. You can't go here, farm top and farm mid. The wave will be gone.
Yeah.
So now you set up the next play, right? Now you push, you recall, you buy items, and then you either go side or you go mid. Depends what you want to do. But you don't ever go back to mid lane here. Because this wave you're seeing on your screen is dead before you get to mid. So now you're playing this wave that you could have played using 2k gold. So now you fuck the game for your team again. Because now you only have bad choices to make. One choice is to stay. That's a bad choice, because then I'm staying with 2.1k gold. Second choice is to recall after this wave. That's also a bad choice, and why is that?
Because the thing about like the situation on map right now is because 4 of my teammates are like at the middle of the map right now. If I recall and anything happens to them, I won't be there to support them.
Yeah, but also, even if you couldn't support them or you don't want to support them, you can't use what they're doing because you're in base. Right?
Use?
Like, look here.
Sorry,
I want you to use your teammates, right? So if you look at this here, you see your teammates are fighting enemy team. You aren't helping them here. Agree?
Yeah.
But you're using their pressure. Whether or not your teammates win this doesn't matter, because the fact Jinx is here, the fact Melio is here, allows you to push and get plates. Yes?
Yeah.
So now you're using your teammates' pressure. And same thing here. Right? Same thing now. If your teammates go and fight bot lane, even if you are not there, as long as you're on the map, you can use their pressure for whatever. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, let's say in early game, your top laner dies to a jungle gank. Sure, he dies. It sucks. But you can use his death because you now you know enemy jungle is top. Right?
Mm.
You understand? So, that's why it's really important that when you make this play, now you set up the next play. So now you push and you recall so that the next play is ready. Now, of course, if you went top lane here from base, so you're full HP, you have 500 gold after killing him, then obviously you can just stay. But this is why it goes back to realizing here, I already have a good recall, right? I have Dirk, so whenever I have a free recall, I should want to do it. But my recall timer is now, but now a top fight happens, so I don't base now. But now the top fight is over, so I base now. But you don't think like this, so now you stay. So now the game is kind of awkward. Because now you base and your whole team is on the map. So now the game is unplayable for your team. Right? And you can't use whatever happens. Let's say Jinx pushes mid or whatever, and then she goes bot lane. You could push mid and hit the plate, you could hit the turret, whatever, right? You can do whatever you want. But you will be in base now. But yeah, I think main thing, like, for laning phase, you just really need to understand, like, why we are laning, right? If enemy bot lane isn't getting gold and XP, then just be happy, right? Like, it's not like you're playing Draven, and even if you're playing Draven, if you have to go 0-0-0 and have 100
The thing with
CS...
Draven is that Draven has this passive, no. So if
Sure.
you get one kill, it's a 2k worth.
Of course. But, you know, Draven players, they're like, fuck, I don't have a kill, I need to int. Right? Like, that's their mindset. Like, 90% of them.
Yeah.
But that is kind of what you were like there. Even though they weren't farming a single minion. If you were Jinx, you would think to yourself, fuck, I'm so fucked. I hope Kalista just kills herself. Right? That's what you're hoping.
Yep.
And then Kalista did that. And then if you think more about what your support champ is doing, then you'll realize too how to lane. Because you kept trading as if, like, you have a Soraka behind you, healing you. Right? Like, if you're trading like this, 1v2 here, like this, with a Soraka, is also bad. Right?
Yep. But
If
it's
you
a
have a
Camille,
Camille.
so Camille can't just hook shot into turret range and
Yes.
help.
Yes.
Mm.
And it kept happening. Because it's same thing here. Here you fucking won the game. And then you go in here, Camille can't do anything, and you just fucking go. Fuck yeah. Right? Because like, even if we remove the turret shot, this is already trash. Right? Let's say this turret shot doesn't happen. It's gonna be bad anyways. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because even if you don't walk in these traps, if you spend the time walking here, right? Jinx will still hit you 2 or 3 more times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a fucking shit trade. And it all happens because you're like so emotional about, oh, they have Jinx Melio, I need to go 20 kills. And again, if you think about the game 30 seconds ahead there, they're dead every time. Because they will be over here. And then you'll simply kill them. So yeah.
That or Brenda flashes and then the
Yes.
next wave, then they die, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like gradual and not like insta
Yes.
kill.
Like you don't need to get a kill with one single click forward. Right? Like it doesn't work like that. Here you should be so happy. You get Melio E, you get Melio W. So just jump backwards, cast QE, chunk them. When you're on cooldown, you back off here. And they're gonna walk up, then you're gonna walk up again, they're gonna walk back. If they don't walk back and they're standing here to pressure you and contest, then you fight them. If they run to here, while all the minis are dying, then you don't need to do shit. Right? But if she's walking up to farm and trying to play the game, that's when you punish. But here, they're literally not playing the game and you're killing yourself. Makes no sense. And then, like I said before, once you int, it's about how do I come back and how do I make it easy for my team to carry. Right? So you need to make sure that you're grabbing resources while you can, and you're playing the game in a way where your teammates can carry you.